Claudia, are you ready to start it?
Yep.
Is the recording on?
Yes. Yeah.
Good evening. This is a regular meeting of the Princeton Zoning Board of Adjustment being held electronically via Zoom on September 24th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Pursuant to Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the time and place of this meeting has been given by prominently posting the sunshine notice of the Princeton Zoning Board of Adjustment. Such notice has been placed on the official bulletin board at the Princeton Municipal Complex, and by transmitting a copy of the notice to the Princeton Packet, Town Topics, the Times, Trentonian, and by filing a copy with the clerk of Princeton on September 19th, 2025, and has been posted to the municipal website, www.princetonnj.gov/meetings. Pursuant to Executive Order 107, due to the state of emergency in New Jersey regarding COVID-19 coronavirus, notice that during the declared state of emergency, all regular and special meetings of the Princeton Zoning Board of Adjustment will be held electronically via Zoom, was transmitted to the Princeton Packet, Town Topics, and the Times, and was filed with the clerk of Princeton on the 24th day of April 2020. Such notices have been placed on the official bulletin board of the Princeton Municipal Complex and on the Princeton website, and are to be maintained throughout the year, and by transmitting a copy of same to the Princeton Packet, Town Topics, the Times, Trentonian, Comcast Media, and by filing a copy thereof with the clerk of Princeton. Notices have been placed on all windows, doors of the municipal complex. Claudia, would you like to call the roll, please?
Ms. Chan?
Here.
Ms. Coulson? Here. Mr. Floyd?
Here.
Mr. Shriver?
Here.
Mr. Tenenbaum?
Here.
Mr. Stein?
Here.
Ms. Donna? Mr. Dobkin? Chairman Cohen? Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. We have 3 applications for tonight. The first one is 728 Bund Drive, Block 2801, Lots 11, Office Research District, OR1 Zone. Michael, are you representing this?
Good evening, members of the board. Michael Lario on behalf of the applicant, True Princeton LLC.
Mr. Larry, I'll note for the record that the noticing is in order and the board has jurisdiction to hear the application this evening.
I have that written down. I forgot to ask you, Karen.
That's
I
okay.
apologize.
No problem.
Michael, you're aware that there are only
6.
6 members of the board tonight, and you need 5 affirmative votes. Do you want to postpone?
Yeah, so I received a call from Mr. Bridger this afternoon indicating that there are only going to be 6 voting members. I spoke with the client, and if the board is agreeable to it, we would ask that this matter be carried to next month's meeting, just to allow for a full complement of board members to be present and to vote on this application.
Derek, do you have a date for that meeting?
October 22nd.
And do we have to do any renoticing or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
since we're taking jurisdiction tonight, the applicant does not have to renotice.
We would ask that an announcement just be made for any member of the public who's in attendance with the new meeting date and time.
Absolutely. So if we have anyone who is listening tonight, the application for 728 Bund Drive will be carried to the board's October 22nd, 2025 meeting, which will be conducted at 7:30 p.m. via Zoom. The sign-in information will be available on the town website and the zoning board's website, and no additional renoticing will need to be done by the applicant.
Perfect. Thank you. I should note for the public that that this application requires 5 positive votes. We normally have a board of 7 people. Tonight, 2 of our members are not here because of, I guess we can say injury, but illness. And so there are only 6 of us. And so it makes the issue slightly more problematic. So I appreciate, Michael, you being willing to delay this a month, and we'll see you in October.
Sounds good. I'll see everyone next month. Thank you.
Thank you. The next application is 164 Prospect Avenue, Princeton, block 55.01, lot 16, R-2B zone. Is there a representative of that?
Before we go to the representative, I'll just again note that the noticing is in order and the board has jurisdiction to hear the application this evening. And I'm going to swear in Mr. Bridger. Derek, do you swear affirm your testimony this evening will be truthful?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Thank you.
Like the other one, Karen, I have that written down and I skipped it.
No problem. Stephen, do you want Derek to begin first with his memo?
I don't see if we have a representative. Rich, are you representing this? You're muted.
No, I'm joining as a panelist. Tom Bayo should be here. In fact, I talked to him moments ago and he should be trying to get in.
He just told me he's on. Hi, it's Jen Peepsack. So Tom is our architect. He said he's on.
We have 2 people in the attendees. One is the Konings at Princeton. The other is iPhone 2.
Maybe it's iPhone 2.
Yeah. Claudia, you can bring iPhone.
Oh, yeah, iPhone 2 is raising their hand.
Hi, this is Frank and Vera Konings.
Okay, can
Okay,
you
we
hear me?
can't-
I'm the architect.
We
Okay, we
can't see
can't
either one of
see,
you.
sir, we can't, there
We
you are. Is that
Yes.
you, Mr. Bayo?
Yes, hello.
Alrighty, and Mr. Bayo, since I understand you will be presenting the application for your clients, we'll swear you in too. Do you swear or affirm your testimony this evening will be truthful?
I do.
Okay,
Do you want to proceed with this, even though we have 6 votes and you'll need 5?
I think so because I've done many residential applications. I'm hoping that if it doesn't look like it's going positive, I would just like the right to adjourn if we need to, but I would like to proceed, yes.
Okay, fine. Derek, do you want to present this case?
Give a brief overview of my memo. Thank you, sir. I'd love to. The applicants, Jennifer and Richard Peepsack, are the owners of 164 Prospect Avenue. They're seeking a floor area ratio variance pursuant to NJS 40:55D-70D4 to permit the construction of an enclosed porch, a sauna, and a fireplace on the floor above. Subject property is located in the R2B zone and subject to the use and bulk regulations in accordance with section B17A, 239, 240, and 403 of the former Princeton Borough Land Use Code. Subject lot is complying regarding the applicable bulk requirements. The maximum FAR is 30%. The existing FAR is 29.86. With the addition, it's approximately an increase of 487 square feet, results in a proposed FAR of 33.04%. This is a D variance. The applicant should address how the site can handle the additional FAR. And as I noted before, it does require 5 affirmative votes. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to address them.
Any questions? Michael?
Derek, porch versus roof. Porch versus room, excuse me. Is there any clear differentiation in the code?
I mean, a porch, if it's open to not a screen porch, you can put if it's a completely open porch with one side open, it's exempt from FAR up to 200 square feet. So
yeah,
this is more of like an addition. but it's off of their patio area. You'll see more when they present their application.
Yeah, I understand it. I just didn't know if it really has become a room, not a porch.
Yeah, I consider it a room.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Mr. iPhone 2, I didn't get your name.
Okay. My name is Thomas Bayo. I'm a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey. I have been licensed to practice architecture for 34 years. And I remain in good standing with the State Board of Architects. I have presented before many zoning boards of adjustment throughout the state, probably in the hundreds. And I'm familiar with the general requirements of the zoning board and our testimony for floor area and some positive and negative criteria, although I am not a planner.
Okay, we will accept your expert opinion. So who's going to present for you?
Why don't I let Mr. and Mrs. Peepsack introduce themselves? They are on the call, and then I'll take over the application.
Aaron,
Mr. and
does he
Mrs.
need to be sworn
Peepsack,
in?
yes, Mr. and Mrs. Peepsack, do you swear or affirm any testimony you give this evening will be truthful?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome.
Welcome.
you.
And thank you for hearing your application. Or our application.
We can hear you, Rich.
Okay, so my wife and I have moved to town, and we've long dreamed of having an outdoor porch. So if it's a room or a porch, that's for you to decide, but it will have screen and there will be a fireplace in it. That was the reason we were considering it an outdoor room, because it would have a gas fireplace, not a wood burning fireplace. And on the roof above it would be a sauna, a hot air sauna with screening and decking to hold and support the sauna.
And hi, I'm Jen, Rich's wife, and we've both grown up in the area. I grew up in East Windsor, Rich grew up in Ewing, and so we've spent our lives visiting Princeton, and we are now empty nesters as of last week, and so we are really excited to move into the borough and be closer to lots of things and a really wonderful quality of life, because there's so much to do in Princeton. I would just add that right now we have a patio which has pavers, and we're just using the space that is the patio already. In terms of the square footage, and as Rich noted, it is screened in. It's not glass, so it's not unless the heaters are working really well in the dead of winter, we probably won't spend a lot of time, but they may. So
Thank you both. I can now take over and kind of explain a little bit about the structure. I was retained to design an outdoor use for their patio. The patio was provided by the builder, and when the builder built the home, they maximized the floor area ratio to build the biggest home that they could. And obviously, this home sold for quite a bit of money, so the builder did the right thing. I would have probably encouraged them to do the same thing. Don't leave any FAR. What was striking was how this was interpreted. We prepared the plans, and the plans, in fact, went into the Derek's review, who then notified me that, do you realize that this is a room? When we look at this as a floor area ratio requirement. I was not aware of that. And so aside from all the egg on my face from not properly reading the ordinance and understanding the nuances, I have volunteered to handle the application to see it through so that they can get a better use for their outdoor patio. The patio, as you could see some from the submitted photographs, is a nice patio. It's out there. A shaded patio would be a very important betterment for them to use their outdoor patio. The shading of it promotes an opportunity where Rich said, hey, can I walk out of my second floor and actually have a second floor terrace? I want to add a sauna. And I said, yeah, I can design it so it has a sauna out there. So we basically have this 2-story backyard amenity. In the context of society and life, we think outdoor living is a positive element. It's a growing trend in America, It's a healthy trend. And what we'd like to do is have some structure that they would enjoy using a little bit more often. There's a degree of shielding that goes on when you put an outdoor structure. And that, if anything, does provide a betterment to the surrounding neighbors for both ambient sounds and for usage. The patio is going to be to the left of this, covered porch. And the covered porch is extending to really the end of the patio, as far away from the house as it is, about 21 feet, which is denoted on my architectural plans, sheet A1. The outdoor area will have a fireplace so they can enjoy the beauty of being both outdoors and having some heat. And it would really promote a better use of their patio. If it was you or I who have a big outdoor patio like that, the covered porch is really a better way to use that patio. But it does rise to an FAR variance, and that's what this board and your charge is to look at it. I don't see too many things on the negative. I think that from a positive standpoint, it allows them, first and foremost, to have a better usage for their patio. They would really like to have it covered. People use umbrellas. This is certainly a more expensive structure, and they certainly could afford to do it. And we would really like you to consider this is a very strong desire for them as part of their lifestyle. From the negative standpoint, aside from just the brief construction that goes on, the noise in the construction of building it is a short-term matter. That is a real and evident negative criteria. But once completed, it would be well shielded. They intend to landscape around it. And I do think by not being so bulky and by being so transparent, as you could see in those renderings we produced, I think that this board can approve it. I don't think it really bulkens. The nature of floor area ratios are really to control the bulk of a structure. That's what they've, in the last 25 years have rolled out in many communities. This doesn't bulk it up. It really gives them a very habitable usage. It's mostly transparent. And I would say this board can look at those positive and negative points and approve it. And that's really, you could read our D variance statement. It's a little redundant. I'm sorry it's so long, but I just hit the key points of where this can contribute to the positive lifestyle needs of my clients. And other than the short-term construction, really doesn't pose any particular negative aspect to the surrounding neighborhood. It's an amenity which is very popular. We see outdoor living as a growing trend, not a declining trend. I wish Princeton would consider it as not part of the FAR, being that it's an outdoor space, but I certainly understand Derek's interpretation, and I commend him for bringing it to my attention, and that's why we're here.
Thank you. Board members, any questions for this application? Sure,
Yes.
Michael, go ahead.
To the owners, I was curious, are you the first occupant of this house?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't build it. We bought it from a builder, but yes, we are the first occupant.
Okay. Just a suggestion to the architect, you might want to go over your positive criterias one by one. I don't know if everybody's read them, but that's just a suggestion. I do have a question just on the first one to start with. You say it will significantly reduce ambient noise levels. What do you mean by that?
When people are entertaining outdoors, when people are watching a TV, as this structure will allow above the fireplace, by having the structure built as it is with a roof line, we get significant reductions in ambient noise level because noise travels three-dimensionally, including up. And I believe that it would contribute to their outdoor usage being quieter to the adjoining neighbors. That's what I meant by that.
Okay, because I looked up ambient noise because I wasn't quite sure what it was. So I wanted to make sure I understood what.
Understood, sir. Ambient noise is just the general sound of outdoors. If you go to city streets, you hear cars and wheels, and you hear people, and that is shielded by having an enclosure like this. It's improved, and that is one of the positive criteria and the very first one. Additionally, I speak to light, right? We light outdoor patios. We generally light them from houses downward onto the patio. This structure will be lighting downward. It produces the same controlled lighting that you, your board or planning boards would ultimately require for down lighting in public areas. That's a positive criteria just in terms of how you entertain, and you have now the lights flashing straight down. I would say that contributes to the backyards of all the neighbors, and it's an improvement. And then, of course, the usage itself. They get to have an outdoor covered space, and this is a positive thing that you want to see people in Princeton, for sure, be able to use their backyards and using it. You know, they're an older couple. They're not a young couple. They're not going to have a rock band out here. I think you have to look at that. I know the neighbors could, they could sell the home, but I think there's a degree of positiveness too in having this contained sort of space. And finally, it's not a very big bulk. So from the spirit of what an FAR tries to do in terms of my characterization of it restricting bulk, this is a fairly transparent structure, and it's a beautiful structure. It melds well with this modernistic home that was designed, and I believe that it would contribute. It's in the backyard. It's not necessarily visible from the general public. Neighbors could see it, but it's rather shielded from the street. That's a positive criteria. Sir, those are the few that I've kind of elaborated on. I don't want to spend a lot of time, inventing things, but those are the real most important ones.
Thank you.
Derek, is there anything that would prevent them from making this into a room at some point in time? I mean, if once approved, does that make it a room that they could put glass instead of screen?
Well, we intend to have screens that can come up and down. It's a very expensive screen. It's a system that allows you to basically have the interior doors closed, have the screens down, and not have bugs and gnats all over your kitchen. Is there anything that would keep them from closing? Well, by you granting the floor area ratio variance, it effectively makes it house. So I would say no, nothing would prevent them from turning it into a house. The nature of this variance is just that you're producing an FAR variance. I think it's a beautiful structure that they really, really would just personally like to have.
Any other questions?
I don't actually see any issue with what you've presented, except that I would say that if they weren't, you talked about the television and the ambient noise, and I would just, it strikes me that if they weren't building this, there wouldn't be a television out there to shield the noise of to begin with. So it's not actually improving that situation. It's there, but I'm not trying to make a problem. I'm just saying the logic doesn't actually work.
All right, let me clarify. I don't know if there's even going to be a TV out here. Rich or Jen, do we intend to have a television above that fireplace?
We do. So, I mean, I don't know how often we'll be out there watching the TV, but I imagine there would be nothing stopping us from having a TV on our patio now. So I think it's a very good point. I would just say that having the roof relative to not having the roof, if we had a TV out there, it would be less noise having the roof, I assume is the point we're trying to make. That's all.
Yeah.
But I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to say that we're not sure if we're going to have, I mean, our intention is to have a TV out there, but I would be surprised if we're out there like at night, late at night watching TV. It's,
Well, I'm not arguing with that. I was just,
Okay.
I think it's a very fair point.
Jen, you don't intend to ever, in your tenure in this home, enclose this room, correct?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Screens.
Okay. Other
Mr.
questions?
Vale, I don't know if it would be helpful to the board. I know you have submitted plans. I don't know if you want to share your screen and show either your photos or plans to the board.
I can't share my screen from my iPhone because my computer desk doesn't have a camera.
Okay.
But I did give you a electronic way of, and I included it in all the packets. So everyone in their packet has photographs. They have the rendering that we produced. They have my plans, and the one statement.
Okay, any other questions? Before we open it up to the public, Tommy, is there anything else would you like to give us a summary, or we'll be back to you shortly?
I don't have any additional summary. I would, just ask the board to strongly consider these people, their usage, how I've described it, and see it as a betterment to the backyard experience and something that we should encourage. That's it.
Okay, thank you. We'll open it up to the public. If you want to hit the raise your hand button, we will take you one at a time. Claudia, do you see? I see at least 2 hands, 3 hands, 4 hands. It's going up.
Yeah, there were also apparently some questions in the Q&A. And as our chair indicated, just click your button that says raise your hand, and then you will be able to be brought into the meeting and ask questions.
Megan, if you want to turn on your camera. You want to give us your name and your address if you're comfortable doing that?
Sure. My name is Megan Levinson, and I live at 52A Patton.
Okay, Karen,
And Ms.
we'll swear
Levinson,
you in.
do you swear or approve or confirm that any testimony you give this evening will be truthful?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. This is the first time I've spoken at a meeting of the zoning board, but I'm here to respectfully object to the request for a variance at 164 for an addition of a covered porch and a second floor sauna. My husband and my son and I live in a twin here on Patton Avenue, and in recent years, we have watched as more homes in our neighborhood are torn down and new, larger homes are built in their place. And in each instance, as is the case here, the developers use every bit of the allowable square footage. This home was built fairly recently, as you already discussed, which I believe means that the design conforms to the zoning and coverage limits that apply today. Granting a variance so soon after construction would in effect undermine the purpose of these limits, which exist for a reason. I worry that this sets a precedent for other property owners who want to seek similar exceptions. If variances are granted whenever someone simply wants more square footage, the zoning restrictions have lost their meaning. And while it's not the case for this particular property, sometimes that home with the new addition is then rendered permanently unaffordable for the future. Thank you so much for your consideration and for all of the work that you do.
Well, thank you very much. Who's next? Arita?
Yes, let me try to turn my camera on. Can you see me?
Yes, would you give us your name and your address, please?
Yes, my name is Areta Polinsky. I live and own 170 Prospect Avenue with my husband, Yaron Imbar, who is also on.
I'm sorry, that was garbled. Would you give us your address again, please?
170 Prospect Avenue.
Great. And ma'am, do you swear or affirm any testimony you give this evening will be truthful?
I do.
Thank you.
So my husband and I have lived on Prospect Avenue for 10 years. I want to encourage the board to walk past this street. 164 Prospect is already by far the largest scale house on these couple of blocks. And to me, it's curious that we are exactly at 4,600 square feet. Considerable amount of area. So I object to the idea of adding more area to it when that is not allowed. It is a narrow lot. In terms of what was said about the experience of people around, the experience now walking past that home is routinely having 3 or 4 large cars lining from the sidewalk to the garage. And that's what is visible to neighbors. I know this is not something that can be legislated, I do know, though, that impervious coverage of soil makes a difference. And the block slopes toward us, we have had rainwater problems, and those are increasing. We do not want to have more stormwater tipping down toward us from yet more ground being covered. I'm an architect. I do not believe that there is a reason to approve this larger area on this basis. In 4,600 square feet that is already permitted, how can a room not be designated to allow the use that they are requesting? So I strongly object to this and live 2 doors down.
Okay, thank you very much. Victor?
Victor is the, Mr. Onosike is the board's traffic engineer. So I think he may have been here tonight for the first application, which got carried.
Okay. Mr. or Ms. Halterman?
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Koenigs, are you going to speak, or is your architect going to speak for you, or you both want to speak?
We both want to speak. Yeah.
Okay, well then let me swear you all in. Mr. and Mrs. Koenig and Mr. Holterman, do you swear affirm any testimony you give this evening will be truthful?
We do.
Yes, I do.
All right, and Mr. and Mrs. Koenig, where do you live? If you feel comfortable giving us your address.
Yeah, we're the direct neighbors to Jen and Rich Pipsak, who we very much welcome in the neighborhood. And we live on 168 Prospect Avenue.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I did not understand the first part of what you said. Where do you live in relation to this house?
Directly next door, 168.
We're the next door neighbors.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, we would like to apologize for not submitting any written documentation or written comments on the proposal through the proper channels, but we only received the notification letter 2 days ago at our vacation home in Colorado. So sorry about that. What we were able to do over the last 48 hours is to touch base with our architect, Mr. Holterman, who is here, to actually ask his professional opinion about the proposal. And therefore, I'd like Mr. Holterman to give this opinion right now.
Mr. Holterman, you're a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey, correct?
I am, yes.
Okay. And I believe you've appeared in front of this board before, I believe on behalf of applicants.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And you're here tonight as the architect for the Koenig's house, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And please continue.
Because the Koenigs only received the notice a couple days ago, we were not able to submit exhibits in advance. I have 2 things I'd like to share. Is it possible for me to share my screen, something on the screen?
Sure.
Can everyone see that photograph?
Yes, yes.
So this is a photograph of 164 Prospect Avenue and 168 Prospect Avenue. The applicant's house is on the left. Koenig's house is on the right. What I'd like to make a few comments about the impact of this proposed addition, particularly on Koenig's property. To start, my understanding of a D variance is that it sets this higher standard for demonstrating hardship, where a change has to be proved to not only be not detrimental, but ideally should even provide some public benefit. I'll have some comments that I believe that standard is not met. As you can see in this photograph, The neighborhood FAR limit of 30% actually seems fairly generous within the context of the other houses in this neighborhood. Most of the other properties around have lower FAR, in some cases much lower than 30%. When we designed the Konings house at 168, we were very conscious of respecting the appropriate scale and height of the neighboring houses, even though we were designing in a modern idiom. There is some architectural variety within the neighborhood. However, the scale tends to be similar, and we worked very hard to match that. The
Mr.
FAR of
Holterman,
Konings
Mr.
house.
Holtman, I
Yeah.
hate to interrupt you because I think I may not have sworn you in. So
Oh,
let
you know
me
what?
do
You're
that now.
absolutely right. Sure,
Do you swear or affirm that your testimony this evening will be truthful?
I do.
And did you take this photograph or did someone in your
Oh,
staff?
yes, I took this photograph.
Alrighty, and do you want this marked as an exhibit?
This can be exhibit 1 or whatever number.
All right, we'll call it objector 1. All right, thank you.
The FAR of Konings house, which you see on the right side here, that house built new in 2017 is well under 30%. Also, Mr. Floyd mentioned a point that I noticed as well, that the proposed covered patio at the first floor appears to be more of a room with a large screen windows and low walls on all sides. Perhaps it's more of an enclosed screen porch than a covered patio. The idea of a covered patio implies something less substantial. I'd actually like to change to another exhibit. And I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Do I have to go back to share, I think?
Maybe close this one and reopen.
One more minute and I'll have that. Yeah, okay. Okay, can you see a site plan now?
Yes.
Excellent. So this shows the site plans to scale of the two houses directly next to one another. And you can see that the rear walls more or less align. So the concern here is that this addition with a second story terrace will actually look down right into the patio at the rear of Konings house, which is currently their private backyard. There is a 6-foot fence in between. But while that fence is limited to a height of 6 feet, the proposed second floor deck on the proposed application is approximately 14 feet above grade. The top of the sauna appears to be about 23 feet above grade, and the ground floor of the new house is 2 feet above grade. So the specific height dimensions are not noted on the plans, but in addition to having a very large floor plan, this house is already very tall for a 2-story house. It already blocks light from the Konings house, and the proposed addition would make it worse. The proposed addition will result in significant loss of both visual and sound privacy at the Konings rear yard, particularly where there is activity on a second level on the roof of this porch. The floor area of the current house is 4599.9 or 4,600 square feet, and was intentionally built at the time a few years ago to the absolute limit of the allowable FAR. This already is not a small house, and while everyone is entitled to private use of the rear yard, expanded use should not be approved when it is at the expense of the neighbor's use of and enjoyment of their rear yard. I would argue that a house that already meets the limit of allowable floor area does not merit a hardship, which can only be remedied by building a second floor deck that, number 1, looks directly down into the simple, quiet backyard of the neighboring property, and 2, includes a blank-walled sauna that blocks their view of the sky. Contrary to the statement submitted with the variance application, the proposed project does not, in my opinion, have, quote, minimal to no impact on surrounding neighbors due to careful and considerate design, end of quote. I think it has a significant impact on at least one neighbor, and I don't believe this proposal as submitted meets the standard for approval. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to take down your screen, please?
I'll tell you, I'm not exactly sure how to do that.
There
There we go. Okay.
All right. Does anyone else want to speak? Koenig,
Oh, wait, I do
Mr.
see,
and Mrs.
I
Koenig?
see. No,
you
there
wanna
is
speak?
somebody else. I'm looking and,
Yaron Inbar has their hand raised.
yeah, Mr. Inbar. Do you see his hand raised, Claudia? Here he is. Okay.
Mr. Imbar, we'd like you to join us. We need to see your
Yep, I'm
image.
unmuting. There we go. That should work.
Yep, thank you. Your name and address, please.
Yaron Inbar, I'm at 170 Prospect Avenue. My wife, Areta, spoke just before the Konings.
All right. And sir, do you
Hold on a
swear
minute
affirm
and-
any testimony you give this evening will be truthful?
I do.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving us the time. I just want to add that I too object to the request, and I feel like a house of that magnitude and size, which is at a different scale than most of the houses in the neighborhood already, to allow it to grow at this point means that we're completely disregarding the zoning rules, which does not seem right. Should have been no surprise to anyone about what was or should be expected in this house. It's actually a duplicate of a house that's all the way on the other side of Prospect, and it could easily have been reviewed and viewed at different stages of construction. So I too object to the request.
All right, thank you. Anybody else in the audience like to speak? All right, we will close the.
I'd like to say.
Steve.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
I'd like to add that just hearing that there also will be a TV.
Wait a minute,
I'm
wait a
sorry,
minute.
who's
We need to
speaking?
see you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm Vera van der Velde. I'm the co-owner of 168 Prospect Avenue.
Again,
Okay, ma'am, we need to see you though.
She's on screen.
Did you move her
She's
over?
on screen.
She's on screen.
Not
Can
on
you-
mine.
This is Coning. The Konings.
Oh,
are
I'm
Prince-
so sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to add that hearing that there will be a TV in that house will make me even more worried, because that will increase the noise level on our property, not lower it. That's what I just wanted to add. So it's
Thank you.
subject to this addition.
Thank you. Steve, do you want to speak?
Hey, is that me?
Yes,
you.
we can see you. Would you give us your name and your address, please? If you're
Sure.
okay with that?
My name is Steve, and I'm the owner of 26 Macomb Road. I actually have a question
Wait,
for.
hold on a minute. We need to
Sir?
swear you in.
Sorry.
We're just going to swear you in. Do you swear from any testimony you give this evening will be truthful?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
So I actually just have a question with regards to the 728 application. Is it the right timing to talk about that, or we can talk about that later?
No, and actually, sir, that's been carried now to the October 27th agenda.
22nd meeting. October 20th.
Exactly. So that's when the board will hear the application. And then if you have questions or comments, you could raise it to the board when the board hears the application.
Okay, so on the 22nd, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Gotcha.
7:30.
Gotcha. That's my only question. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Any other? Claudia, I don't see any other hands. Do you?
No more hands.
All right, we'll close the public comment. Tom, do you want to make a statement before we go into executive session?
Yes, I actually have written down many of the comments. I found the comments to be useful in terms of possibly guiding what could be changes on a design. The impervious coverage, the first one, is not really increasing. We're putting the covered patio over the current patio. But I thought some of the other conversations were important for us to hear. And I would like to have the opportunity to possibly amend, certainly with my client's approval, this application to produce a more favorable outcome. I would take those comments as very useful, and I thank the neighbors for those, and request if we can adjourn to the next open date of a meeting.
Eric, can we do that?
Yes. Yeah.
Eric,
October
when is the
22nd.
next open date?
October 22nd.
Okay.
Okay, we'd like to accept that. Is that possible?
Yes.
So
And
we will make clear now for the neighbors who are in attendance that the application is going to be continued to October 22nd. Meeting begins at 7:30. The sign-in information will be on the board's agenda. And for you, Mr. Bao, anything that you're going to amend needs to be to the board staff at least.
2 weeks
How
prior
far
to
in advance, Derek?
at least 10 days.
Yeah,
I'd
I mean,
like
that
2
would be
weeks
the
if I have
minimum.
to revise a memo, but
Yeah.
Okay,
Point
so
of information, if I may, Mr.
sure,
Chair,
Harlan.
Casey. At this subsequent meeting, applicant is not supposed to be restating things that have already been presented tonight. Is that correct, or is that not correct?
Well, that's correct. I gather, and I'm assuming from what Mr. Bayo said, that he wants to review with his client, possibly amending the application or configuration, or am I correct, Mr. Bayo, on that assumption?
yes, you've heard our testimony, our side. I've heard the neighbors. I think I accept the premises of the neighbors' points, and I think we'll consider them into an amendment of an application. The idea is to come out of something for my client's benefit, and I don't think we have taken into consideration some of these other viewpoints. So yes, I will try to have updates prior to October 12th.
And we want to be good neighbors, so this was very helpful feedback, and you know, we'll take it away and think about it with Tom.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Board members, any other comments before we close this case, this application? Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you on October 22nd.
Thank you very much, board.
Thank you.
Now we will move to the third case. Does anybody need a break? It's only 8:15, 8:18. Anybody want a break?
No.
Nope. Okay, well, application number 3 is 151 Carriage Way, block 9601, lot 17, R1-T zone. Derek, Karen, is everything in order?
Here's the application. The noticing isn't correct, and the board has jurisdiction tonight.
Thank you very much. Derek, would you like to summarize this case?
yes, sir. Thank you. Saras and Dori Agarwal are the owners of 151 Carriage Way. It's located in the R1T zone in the former Princeton Township. They are seeking a floor area variance pursuant to NJS 40:55D-70D4 to permit construction of 374 or 17 by 22 family room addition to the rear elevation of the existing single-family house. The subject lot and house comply with all the bulk requirements. The proposed addition results in an FAR variance. The required FAR is 15%, existing is 14.4%, and the proposed is 15.5%. As I mentioned earlier, this does require 5 affirmative votes. The applicant should state how the subject property can accommodate the additional FAR. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer them.
Thank you. Any questions for Derek? Okay, representing the applicant is?
Saras and Dori Agarwal.
Thank you very much.
And we
Karen,
were
would you
wondering-
like to swear them in, please?
I will. Mr. and Mrs. Agarwal, do you swear or affirm your testimony this evening will be truthful?
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Before we begin, is it possible we could invite our architect, Joel Petty, who's on the line, to join as a panelist as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Petty, right? Joel Petty?
Yes.
Should be on the way.
Sounds good. Are we good to get started then?
What is
I
it?
see, I don't see,
I don't see Mr. Petty, unless somebody else's name.
yeah.
What's Karen? Trainer?
Karen Trainer.
Do you see that at all?
We see KT.
Yeah, that's probably her.
Yeah.
That's his wife.
Okay.
Bring them over.
Let's see if KT is Joel Petty. All right.
There you go. Okay, welcome, and go ahead and present your application.
Sir, could you first spell your name for the record?
Joel, Joel, Petty,
Mm-hmm.
Petty, Petty.
All right, and sir, you're a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And you're the architect of record for the project, correct?
Yes, I am.
All right, and do you swear or affirm your testimony this evening will be truthful?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Have you been sworn in? I'm sorry.
I think so.
Yes, I did swear him in.
Okay.
All right. We'll get started then. Thanks for giving us a chance to share our case here. And nice to meet you all. So Dory and I have lived in Princeton for a long time now, probably close to 15 years. We've got 2 daughters here, have gone to public school and now in school, a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old, and we love it here is kind of the main point. And we love it here a lot, and we want to stay here. But as we've grown older here, our parents have also aged, we, in order to stay in our home, we want to create a space for them to be able to come visit our kids, but also stay with us if need be. We want to create a space on the first floor of our home. In fact, we're dealing with an issue right now where my wife's mother can barely walk and can barely get up a stair. So in order to do so, we live in a older home. Carriageway is a existing development that was before even the township and the borough came together, I think. We're not the original owners of that home, but and we haven't renovated our home in the past. This is the first time. And in order to create this space, what we want to do is create kind of a bedroom for our aging parents in the first floor. But then the addition is to help retain an opportunity for our breakfast area, because that's where we'd have to kind of move our addition into. And so our proposal is for a very small addition, 374 square feet. It's a 1-story addition that is in the rear of our home and 100% completely in the character of our home. You guys probably have the application there, and you can see the renderings and the drawings there. It's all within the character of the home. Our HOA has given their full support. Our neighbors are also supportive. I know we have to have that in person here, so Derek share that with us. But that's really the request here. We also have a bit of an oddly shaped lot. Probably one of the smaller ones in the neighborhood. It's a sort of trapezoidal, but it's part of the reason we're here, to ask us for a small variance from 15 to 15.5%. That's anything you don't have?
No.
Okay. Any questions for us?
Any questions by the board?
Mr. Agarwal, well, let me direct this to Mr. Bridger. Is the existing 14.4 or 15 existing FAR?
The existing is 14.4.
Okay.
The maximum is 15 and the proposal is 15.5.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
And do you want your architect to speak?
Joel, welcome. If you have anything else you want to add.
You want me to, I think a lot of the design proposal of this was to keep the addition in the rear with no visual impact to the front of the property, the character of the neighborhood, or anything that would impact that, and the character and the kind of the idea of the FAR to limit the volume look of the house in the neighborhood. Don't believe this proposed addition does anything at all to the character of the neighborhood. It also, at the rear of the house, is not visual except from the direct neighbor to the left. The right of the property is wooded, as well as the rear, which is wooded between this and a development pretty far away on the other side. So it's a pretty protected lot visually. And I think the idea was, even with the addition there's an existing deck on the back of the property, on the back of the house, from the original build of the house. And this addition, actually creates some visual privacy from that neighbor when they are using the deck in the summertime, that kind of thing. So I think it adds as a buffer as well to that neighboring property, to the existing kind of deck and access from the driveway. So those were the reasons it is located where it is. One, to limit visual impact, to keep it one story. It's kind of located near a renovated kitchen area so that it is functional in the ways that Saras was talking about, utilizing it near the kitchen. And let's just kind of redo that front room for a guest room and a full bath on the first floor, which was one of the goals of renovating the project. But I think in limiting the visual impact, those are the big keys to it, that it really is not, it's not changing the look of this house from the kind of community access, any of the street views in any way at all visually. So it really is pretty de minimis. The 15.5% is also pretty de minimis in what we're trying to achieve in getting the extra space that they'd like to have.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Petty,
Board
do you have
members,
any
any questions?
Mr. Petty, do you have any plans or photos that you want to share with the board?
Yes, they were submitted if you don't have them, but would you like me to share them?
Well, I don't know if that's helpful to the board for you to share them, and you can just kind
Don't
of
we
go
all
through
have
them.
them?
Yes, they were submitted with the package, yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody on the board want Mr. Petty to go through the plan so that you can ask him questions and you could see, everyone can see it together, or
Any members of the public might want to see it too. I don't-
Yeah.
You know.
if there is?
Okay, why don't you go ahead and present them on the shared screen?
Okay. Is that shared? Or is it...
We're just seeing your email right now in your web browser, Joel. So maybe it's a different screen, or you have to collapse it. There you go.
Yep.
We go.
Oh.
Nice.
We see now your background, which is
I
lovely.
don't know how to expand this back to.
Click on the bottom where you see that Adobe on the right, bottom right. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, we got it.
You can see that?
We can, Joel.
So the proposed addition, this area in the front is, are you able to see my cursor?
Yes.
This is the area that has become not only the new access from the garage, but this front space is where that original sitting room was, that is being turned into call it a guest suite, but that full bath with a walk-in shower, and space for parents to come. That is the space that's now being connected to the kitchen, so that breakfast area that was here can go into this space, and this family room piece can create a more livable family space, kind of to update the current, 80s house to where they would like it to be now, and take advantage of the backyard. And this whole area is existing deck now, so it kind of covers part of that. And like we had said, the neighbors on this side, this somewhat protects that from this deck from that neighbor's place, and gives them access to that deck from the kitchen area, which they were also seeking to do. And then from that, the visual impact on the back is pretty minimal. It's a one-story addition recessed behind the existing facade of the house, 3 feet, so that is from access on carriageway, which is out here in the front. There's no real visual sight of this addition whatsoever. And you can see on the site plan here, the backyard and the visibility from carriageway is limited, if non-existent.
Board members, any questions?
Mr. and Mrs. Agrawal, do you want to, I know you submitted these, but since your architect has gone over it now, the board, shall we make them an exhibit? We could just say collectively, it's your exhibit A1.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, great.
Just so that I understand, what you have now is where the den, and on the first floor, the den and the bath and all of that going over to the mudroom has been just kind of like a family room in a sense,
That's right.
and so you're wanting to convert that to a guest room, bedroom on the first floor with a bathroom on the first floor that will enable your parents to stay there and not be sort of camping out in the family room in a sense.
That's right.
Okay.
It was our playroom when our kids were younger. That's right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Any other questions? Okay, if you want to drop that screen.
I have one quick question.
Sure, Bernice.
So it looks like the new addition is going to sit on part of what used to be a concrete landing, and is it sitting on part? Is the deck being modified to for the footprint of the addition as well, or?
Yes, the deck is getting smaller.
Okay, got it. So it's partially sitting on what was a concrete landing and partially sitting on what was a deck.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Could you go back to your rendering of the side view? Okay, thank you. I thought those were windows underneath it, but I guess they're not.
This?
Yeah.
They're just proposing that this is actually open underneath that addition. There's not a crawl space or basement underneath it.
Yeah.
It's staying more like the deck is and open underneath.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, board members? Okay, typically we would have a summary by the applicant now, if you want to, before we go into public comment. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Oh boy, I wasn't prepared for a summary. No, I think hopefully you all get the rationale here for what we're trying to do, and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Agarwal or Mr. Petty, so your argument would be that because the increase in FAR looks like it's about 1%, your position would be the property could accommodate this increase in FAR?
Yes, I do. I think as you look at how it sits in the backyard and the effect on the neighborhood, yes, I think there's no impact there at all.
All right, do you want to drop that screen, please? There you go, thank you. Board members, any other questions?
Derek, does this, I feel like I should know the answer to this. Does this trigger any stormwater management?
I think they're hair under it, right?
Yes, there's no increase. Yes, we are.
There's not more than 400 square feet of net new impervious.
Right.
Okay, we will close this section and we will go to public comment. If there's anybody in the attendee list who would like to respond, please hit the my little button's going away. The raise hand, and we will call on you. Claudia, I don't see any. Do you?
There are no hands.
I'll give it another second. All right, we will close the public comment. We now go back and ask for any kind of closing argument or comments by the representatives. Do you have another summary you'd like to give?
We love living here. We've lived here in this house for over 10 years. We've raised children here. This is our community. We love our house. It just needed to change, and we trust Joel Petty tremendously. He's done a beautiful job, and we hope that you'll take into consideration what we've shared, the reason behind what we're asking for the variance application. And thank you for listening to us tonight.
Thank you very much. We'll close that and go into executive session. Board members, any comments, questions, motions?
I'd just like to make a comment that the purpose of aiding the applicant's parents as sort of an aging in place situation strikes me as a public benefit.
Thank you, George. Other comments?
Members, I just have one question. I know in the last application, the square footage of the house came up and was raised by neighbors. Mr. Petty, do you know this approximate square footage of the house right now?
It's 1,900 square feet per floor, basically.
Okay.
Noted in there. So
Okay, thank you.
Per floor, right?
yes.
You said. I don't think.
Yeah, this is a 374-foot addition. That's correct, right?
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
Joel, just to make sure we're for the record, the existing house, first floor, second floor, and the garage, and any added contribution results in an existing FAR 4,971 square feet, and the proposal results in an FAR, the proposed 374 square foot addition, and 5,345.
Correct.
Thank you.
Other comments, questions? Motions?
It's interesting that we have two to me, very parallel cases in a sense, even though the uses are different, at least at the moment, for sure. Well, even in going into the future. Some similarities.
Yeah, I think this design has a minimum impact on, and it meets the needs that they're presenting. Michael?
Yeah, luckily, I don't see the parallel with the other application. I think the other application is much more questionable. I think this is de minimis. I think this is not a new house. This has a providing space for different age groups, which is a acceptable, by land use, we can lean on. And this may be, although it's a nebulous term, de minimis, whereas the other one is not. And the other one is a basically close to brand new house. They are the first occupants that just want to expand it because they want what they want. These folks have an actual reason. So, not to lobby too hard against the other one, but to your question, I think these are not at all. If it was, I'd probably have to turn this one down because, yeah.
Well, no, I'm glad you articulated that, because I kind of was, feeling like this kind of all what you said, that there seems to be a public good, there seems to be, but I was thinking, geez, the numbers are so similar.
No,
between the
this is
two.
Even just
this is de minimis compared. Number one, this house is under the FAR limit, and they're only going a 0.5 percentage point over. The other one's going, I think, like 3.7. It's yeah, we have to worry about a slippery slope, and I think saying they're similar opens up the last applicant, if it gets voted down, to say, yeah, y'all said it was similar. It isn't. And it was basically a new house that would not have been approved. We would have said build to the FAR, and that's that.
Yeah.
They built it to the FAR, the builder. Now the first owner is coming in and saying, I want to expand it because I want what I want.
Board members, since that other application is not in front of you right now, I think I understand that we're making a distinction between the one that is still pending and this one, but I think that further discussion would not be productive of that other application. Plus, the applicant has advised you they are anticipating making some changes and coming back to you with an amendment.
Okay.
I agree with you. That's why I didn't say anything until this came up as someone saying it's similar.
So does somebody want to make Bernice, you wanted to say something?
Well, I just wanted to add that I don't see a negative impact to the adjoining properties. It's one story. It's contained within kind of the general footprint of where things were built before. Sure. And so, yeah, I can support it. I would make a motion to approve it.
Well,
thank you.
Okay.
Harlan or George, do you want to say anything?
No, I would just second Bernice's motion.
Okay, Harlan, do you want to say anything?
To clarify, the reason why we're permitting this, and I am in favor of permitting this, is due to the elderly parents. I just want to make certain that we're clear about that. Is that correct?
Well, Harlan, I guess, it's always helpful to the board for an applicant to explain why they are coming to you, in this case, with a small expansion. But quite frankly, there's nothing to bind them. So if 2 years from now they have some other arrangement for their parents, this isn't, they're not bound by why they want to do this addition. So I guess
that's helping
from
us.
my perspective, and I understand that the board thinks that that's a good thing, but to me, I guess one differential would be, in this case, it's a 1% increase in FAR.
Okay.
The other application, and again, we don't know what they're going to come back to the board with, is more than 1%. And I think there are other perhaps factors that have been raised by the board and by the public, the relative newness of the house, et cetera. So from my perspective, that, and that being the case, since it's about 1%, we've had testimony that the site could accommodate that. There's no stormwater runoff issues. There are no problems. Their HOA association has signed on and said they approve. So from my perspective, that might be why the board is approving it. Because this, what it's going to be used for, I'm sure that that's the current intention of the applicants, but if they sold it a year from now, the new owner could do anything they want, and so can these owners too.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Claudia, will you take the vote? Roll.
Ms. Chen,
Yes.
Ms. Coulson,
Yes.
Mr. Floyd,
No.
Mr. Shriver,
Yes.
Mr. Tenenbaum,
Yes.
Mr. Stein.
Yes.
Thank you, it's approved.
Good. Thank you very much. Good luck with your addition.
Thank you very much,
Thank
everyone.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.
That concludes our meeting. We are now adjourned.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, thank
Eric, you're muted.
Thanks, everyone. I was just going to say, see you in a couple weeks. Have a
Yeah.
good rest of your
Alrighty.
day.
Good
Thanks.
night.